What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin, and today, we're finally listening to Close to the Edge by Yes off of their album, Close to the Edge, which was released in 1972. This is the first track off the album, so long it took up one whole side of it. And a lot of you are probably wondering, wait, I thought this song wasn't coming out yet. By the way, if you want to skip to the reaction, I'll put the timestamp here. You don't have to listen to me talk. But I got two things to say, okay? I have two things to say. On my Awaken video, I had said that if that video had gotten to 10,000 views in 2 weeks, then I would do this song immediately. However, in light of the current situation with the coronavirus and a lot of people stuck at home, stuck in isolation, a lot of you have been sending me messages and comments saying that these videos have helped you pass the time. I actually felt that it would be kind of selfish of me to delay a request of a very highly regarded song when I could have it out to you guys and you could enjoy it. I know a lot of you are stuck at home. I know a lot of you may be going through a lot of different problems and facing some things, whether financial, health related, job related. So I just wanted to give you guys something to, I don't know, kind of pick you up a little bit, hopefully. And for those of you who are watching in the future, hopefully things are good by now, but just saying, just saying. Now, I've never done this before, at least in a video. One of my jobs was also affected by this coronavirus thing. If you would like, you do not have to, it doesn't change anything. But if you would like to make a donation and help out a little bit, I'll put a PayPal link in the description below. Like I said, you don't have to. If it puts you in a bad position, don't do it. It's just an option. Like I said, it doesn't change anything. Channel's still going. Nothing, you know, nothing stopping or anything like that. Let's get into the song. You can join me on Twitter. You can join me in the comments down below. I hope that you're having a really good day. And let's do it. This is Close to the Edge by Yes.
hardly looking, saying that she'd take the blame for the crucifixion of her own mind.
Million people barely satisfied. 200 women watch one woman cry. Too late. The eyes of honesty cannot cheat. How many mysteries do we deceive? Each day I get up, I get down, I get up.
Isn't that a crazy way to open your album? Yes took me on a journey. Yes, listen, the chorus, I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but the chorus, I love the chorus. Close to the edge, down by the river. Oh, all right, I'm sorry. Let me change the battery, then I can come back and talk, because we got some talking to do. Whew, I know I'm not going to cover everything on this one. Amazing song, landmark song, as a matter of fact. It says that this was also their first, like, epic that they had made. If this was their first, you know, like... This is their first one. To me, that's the first amazing thing. So for this being their first epic, their first really long song, this is really amazing. Like, this is amazing. Now, this is their 5th album, so they've had a lot of time to practice. They've had a lot of time to, like, let their creative juices flow, you know, into forming this song. And man, what an awesome job did they do doing it. I love the opening of this song because it starts off like really serene and very peaceful with the sounds of nature, like running water, and I think there were bird sounds in there. And then it builds into this very chaotic cacophony of sound here. Woo! Just in there, you get a little taste of what's to come. Just a little taste. You have this chaotic nature. Bill Bruford, I love Bill. You guys know that I love Bill. It's nice for me personally to come back to a past album where he's playing. Bill has just a certain way of playing that's very jazz-inspired, very improvisational, but also very heavy. Like I guess what the word I'm trying to use is very progressive. His style in particular, brings such a force to this song. It elevates the song. But Bill just has a certain personality in his playing that you can really hear shine through. The guitar from How, just very chaotic, very crazy. Squire just keeping up with him and raising it. And then when John comes in with the when John comes in and gives you just a little break from that chaos, it gives you a glimpse of what you can expect moving forward into the song. This isn't a song that's going to be all crazy tempo and slightly dissonant melodies. No. We're building into something here. Stick with us. And it's those little breaks in the song which eventually lead into its first, like, revealing. Right there. Right there. That's like your first climax. I love that. I love how it sets you up with something very insane. And then it slowly morphs itself into something, as I've mentioned before in other songs, recognizable. It forms itself into harmony and something that's a little more palatable. And that tells you immediately, hey, you're on a ride with us. Get ready. And this is a beautiful guitar lead by How that we hear here. His playing is very clean throughout the whole song, but as we just heard, if he needs to get dirty, he's gonna get dirty. And with Squire on the bass, from what I've seen, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems that most of the time Squire uses a pick when he plays the bass. Now, playing with a pick is sometimes looked down upon in the bass community, but there's different sounds you want to get and different tones. You got to use the different necessary tools. So with Squire using a pick, which I assume that he is using here as well, with a pick you're going to get a much stronger, direct tone on the bass. Squire always makes it very interesting because he knows how to form these intricate melodies and these beautiful rhythms that will not only support the rest of the band and the rest of the music, but he will absolutely come up front with his bass and show you a little something, and he'll step it back. But he knows when to do it. And when he does it well. See, listen to the bass. And then when we get into this more traditional verse, love the guitar, it's slightly jazzy. John's delivery, great. Come on. That's a good chorus. I like that a lot. They break around that because, you know, the chorus, it breaks into like a little solo there. Like, they play with the structure. And that's something that I like about Yes. Whereas, let me stereotype a few bands really quick and what my perception of them is. Genesis, compositionally and story focused. Pink Floyd, emotion and sound focused. Gentle Giant, bizarre, avant-garde focused. Yes is song feeling focused. Because yes, they do play very technical. Yes, they do show off sometimes. Never comes across as showing off. Never comes across as, hey, look at what we can do. Not only do the lyrics themselves lend themselves to something very spiritual, but the way that they create their music is kind of perfectly balanced in between the technical and the emotional. See how back in the verse they play with the structure of it again? And they've done this several times already before, like 6 minutes in. They've taken their verse, they play it for you, they kind of get you like, oh, this is good. And then on the next part, they'll do the same vocal stylings that would tell you, hey, this is the verse. But they'll change the instrumentation behind it, they'll change the drumming behind it, like right there. It's always interesting, and it always throws you off, but throws you off in the best way possible. Woo, you hear that? You hear that lick? Come on, delicious. That section right there, it sounds so islandy. And yes, it could absolutely be because of the nature sounds we had in the very beginning of the song. Very exotic, very jungle-ish. And that puts me right on an island, the way that the bass rides, the way that the guitar is played. The singing, so pleasant and so easygoing without a care in the world. Which makes sense if I briefly go to the lyrics and he says, getting over all the time I had to worry, leaving all the changes far and far behind, we relieve the tension only to find out the master's name. So leaving behind something, leaving behind stress, leaving behind tension. This is a very easygoing and carefree moment from the band. Woo. I think this is a catchy chorus. Like, that's a good chorus. It stops all the previous music and then da 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 ba ba. It stops everything and it's just very powerful. And I love that that's the chorus because I get to hear that several times throughout the song. I'm not gonna lie. Every time that I saw the chorus was coming up, I was like, my natural inclination was to start singing. So even though the mic was muted, I had to make sure I didn't look stupid trying to sing on camera. And whoop, it breaks right into that. Listen to that bass. Whoop, I love it. I love it. That delivery. Like, okay, I'm gonna keep talking about specifics, but I need to talk about, yes, this song as a whole. Because this song is so dynamic. Everything comes together exceptionally well. You can hear in their playing, in the production, in every aspect of this song, I understand the perfection and why it's so highly regarded. The pianos are majestic. The guitar playing is just like, it's exceptional. You can hear all of their talent put together so well. And I was briefly reading a little bit about this album, and it seemed that there was a little stress involved in making the album, or at least maybe this song, but it doesn't show. For something so long as 18 minutes long, and for something as complex, not overly, but complex and complicated, but never convoluted, it's very catchy. I can also see that it's one of those songs that I'll always be looking forward to listening to. And it has everything that you could want, to me, out of a song. Like I mentioned, it's catchy, so it gets stuck in your mind. It's musically interesting, so technical, always rewarding. Compositionally, it's really good. Yeah, the song has everything. The song has everything. There's nothing left on the table, and what they took from the table was the right ingredients. Let me back it up for you. No, because you must not have heard that. It's almost like in that moment they recreated the song. Like they said, okay, we had enough of the first part. Let's break it down and see what reforms again. And you get a lot of that throughout the song where they stop something. They really disintegrate and just take it all away. And then they say, okay, let's build it back up but into a new shape. Let's build something new. The way that they transition it, but also what they build back into, I love it. Let's bring it back again. Nice climax. This is a great climax in the chorus. Squire and Howe, take it away. Bill. Wakeman. See? It's recreated now. And as such, the song doesn't get old. The song doesn't overstay its welcome. Not that anything beforehand was going on too long, but because we get something new, it's like a nice breath of fresh air, a new rhythm, a new melody to look forward to and to interact with or listen to. Battery's about to die, gotta change it, it happens. So with the introduction of the organ there, eventually we get to use that again in that, that little climax. It's a nice way of bringing the organ in, basically planting seeds for the section that's going to come out later with the giant sound of the organ, which I've mentioned many a times on my review with Awaken. And then when it gets into this section here, which you guys, if you've watched the channel for really any amount of time, you know that I love ambient sections, I love ambient music, etc, etc. Okay, if we look at the different sections and what these sections are named, this is the section I Get Up, I Get Down. Like the chorus that was singing, this section is pretty much those words come alive, because it seems like an I get down and then it builds back up, and I get down and I get up, just like the chorus and just like the name of the section. So it's a section of constant moving, constant ups and downs. And this lasts for about, 7 minutes or so? So this would obviously be the down part, but listen to the soundscape that Yes creates here. Just these beautiful lights and sounds surrounding you. It reminds me of, if you've ever, I don't mean to reuse the example I've used with Echoes from Pink Floyd, but if you've ever looked into water, or like in water looking up and everything, and the way that the light reflects and refracts in the waves, that's kind of what I see here. These lights that are shimmering and bouncing off the waves while you're underwater, or even just looking into the water. The northern lights, the way that the light stretches and moves and cascades, that's what I feel listening to this section from Yes. When I hear water dripping like that, I think of caves. So I get down. I could listen to John singing here for a long time. And the harmonies that are being done, great harmonies. I want to know who's singing the harmonies. Let me see if I can find out really quick. It looks like it's Howe and Squire who are doing the harmonies. So they do a great job of providing the harmonies, but with them on the backing vocals, with the organ playing as well, like it's a very subdued and very beautiful section. And the way that the vocals and the harmonies specifically in that section kind of come together and bounce back and forth reminds me a little bit of like what I've heard from the Beach Boys. And just the way that they put these harmonies together, and the way that they seem like they go off sometimes, but they always bring it right back together. I like that. I like that. And the organ! I love it! I'm pretty sure I just yelled and probably everyone heard me. I'm really sorry about yelling into the microphone. Okay, you guys know from Awaken, I love the organ. It is one of those instruments that it needs to be used properly. If it's left in the wrong hands, it's just too much noise. It's just too loud. Stop. But when used tastefully, discreetly even, it can add so much to the song. Just like Awaken, Close to the Edge does it. Sets it up with the I Get Down, with this quiet section, beautiful vocals and beautiful harmonies that are the rising, the ascending, into the I Get Up. Now, this big organ comes in and once again transforms the soundscape of the whole song. A little synth line coming in with it, building it back all up. Like I said, I get up, I get down, ups and downs. And they are on fire. When they get back into it, they're on fire. What? Get back into that verse, boy. It's so funky. It's so groovy when they get back into it. Woo! I don't know. I don't have anything else to say on it, I guess. I don't. It's melodically so uplifting. What a way to end your song. Bringing that chorus back, not only upping the whole majesty of it, but now continuing it into something else. come on. Come on. You're telling me you're going to listen to that. You're telling me that you guys saw this live from them back so many years ago. I want to know what you felt, because I know that when you had that section, you were in complete ecstasy. You were in bliss. You didn't know where you were anymore. You didn't know what building you were watching them. You didn't know the venue. You didn't know the date. You didn't realize the people around you. It was just you and the music. And that connection, I know that's what you felt, because that's what I felt. If there's anything I can say about Yes, it's that no matter the time, the duration that a song is, whether it's a 5-minute song, a 10-minute song, an 18-minute song, they know how to properly build it up, break it down, build it back up again, and make you feel something. And the chorus of the song, and it seems like thematically the song is like rises and falls, like I said, like coming up and going down and coming up and going down. But the very last verse, the very last line of this song is I get up without coming down. This is a permanent high. This is permanent elevation. This is you at your peak, and things will never look down. I love it. That's good. I'll have to kind of get into like digging into like the meaning of the song and all that stuff. Yeah, I'll get there. But with the I get up, I get down, with the song being called Close to the Edge. Close to the edge of what? Is this a good edge or is this a bad edge? I don't know, but it seems that at the very end, it's a good edge. It's a good ending. In the end, with this song specifically, and talking about the music, this is a song that never loses its way. This is a song that never goes too far off the deep end. This is everything nicely self-contained. This is self-control with Yes, while still letting themselves loose creatively. It's the essence of emotion and technicality coming together to create something that can be looked at from, like I said, a technical point of view and looking at their techniques and their playing. But you can also look at it from the pure emotional value of the song. And that's something that I don't know if I've talked about it really or not before, but that's something that I really appreciate, because with any genre of music, technicality, sometimes in progressive music, technicality gets blown a little bit out of proportion. Whereas if the more technical a band is, the better they can play, or the better songs they can make. Absolutely 100% no. To me, it's about the emotion and the feeling that you display. Let's just say you're a beginner in playing acoustic guitar. Okay, so you may know a few chords, a few scales, but that allows you to express yourself. That allows you to share with others the inner emotions that you feel. Because music is a very abstract form of art. Certain sounds put together in a certain way make us feel a certain way. I think that is an amazing science that I love to study. I love reading that kind of stuff, and how sound affects you psychologically. Okay, let's get back. Let's bring it back just a little bit. The more technical you are, and the more knowledge you have musically, the wider your range is to share even more ways of expressing those same emotions. So I think that sometimes that gets forgotten and that gets lost. But with Yes, I feel that they're the perfect example of doing that, of having all the skills in the book, of knowing everything you could possibly know musically. I'm not saying that they know every single thing, but you know what I mean. They have a high and proficient level of playing and musicianship. And for them to take that and use that to create emotional music and something that will make you feel something is an art that I think sometimes gets lost. And even going right back to the chorus of I get up, I get down. It's a very simple chorus, but even the words and the way that the music behind it plays hold so much power. And I'm looking at an interview with John Anderson from Yes World, and he says, it's very representative of what I think is the Yes style. We experimented a lot, but we also had the talent to back it up. It wasn't just solo after solo. We told stories and created moods. It was all very daring and wonderful. So that's what I mean. The more technical they were and the more abilities that they have and had, the greater the possibility of writing a better story, of creating a better mood, of expressing everything that they wanted to express even more precisely. Because you know how sometimes if you're a musician, you may create something because you feel a certain way, you create a piece of music, and you say, you know what? That's close to what I'm feeling in a sound aspect, but it's not quite there. But you may practice, you may learn a few more scales, you hone your skills, and then you create something, and you know immediately, you know from the very moment that that piece of music is done, you know that's what you were trying to create. It seems that from what I'm reading, John felt the exact same way. And getting to what he says about the lyrics, he says that it took about 3 or 4 revisions till everything was there. It's all metaphors. Simply put, a seasoned witch could call you from the depths of your disgrace. That means your higher self will eventually bring you out of your dark world. I like that a lot. Your own higher self will bring you out of a darkened world, or your dark world. If you're in a bad place, or if you're in a bad spot, sometimes you have to look within yourself to bring you out of that dark spot. He also says that the lyrics are inspired by Hindu and Buddhist mysticism from the book Siddhartha. He says, you always come back down to the river. You know, all the rivers come to the same ocean. That was the basic idea. I've always mentioned it, talking about Yes and the way that they write lyrics, but I like how their lyrics always have a nice positive message, especially with this song and songs like Awaken. I'm reading a little bit about the recording process. It says that melody maker, reporter, and band biographer Chris Welch visited the studio to observe the recording process, and he describes it as a stressful atmosphere. But John, back on Yes World, says that with the creation of this album, how the band had just finished a big tour for recording Fragile. They were very happy with their songs like Roundabout and Heart of the Sunrise and their duration time-wise. He says that they were well-constructed pieces of music that really worked on stage. We were feeling very powerful, like we could do anything. They took that and really did anything and created a masterpiece. I'm coming back to the lyrics really quick, just to go over a little bit of them before this computer dies. A seasoned witch could call you from the depths of your disgrace and rearrange your liver to the solid mental grace, and achieve it all with music that came quickly from afar, then taste a fruit of man recorded, losing all against the hour. It goes on to talk about how a dewdrop can exalt us like the music of the sun and take away the pain in which we move and choose the course you're running. So once again, it's about self-reflection, making yourself better. I like how it says one line, and achieve it all with music. Like I mentioned, I think it's so interesting how sound and music can really affect a person, affect your life, affect your personality, your mood. And even going a little deeper, the simple things in life can do the same thing. A dewdrop can exalt us. I love that. Cross the line around the changes of the summer, reaching out to call the color of the sky. Passed around a moment clothed in mornings faster than we see. Getting over all the time I had to worry, leaving all the changes far from far behind. And then coming back to the chorus, down at the edge, round by the river, close to the end, down by the river. Seasons will pass you by, I get up, I get down. So yes, time will continuously move, time will change. Things are going to change with time, seasons will pass. But true change takes place within yourself. And only you can make that change. I think I've said a decent amount about the song, but needless to say, I really did enjoy this one. I hope that you guys are all doing okay, all doing well. If you'd like, you can join me on Twitter. You can join me in the comments down below. Please let me know what you think of the song. And I guess that's kind of it. Guys, I will talk to you tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Bye.